Every year, every week, every day, another casualty on the streets and roads and fields of Ireland as the war on the vulnerable continues. I am not going to mention names or initials. True, it is raw for many families out there. Of course, sometimes we have families wash their hands of members. So, in anonymity, we have the everyday, everywhere street man or woman, and that's the best way to proceed. I am giving them numbers. That's how the system and society treats them. When it suits the business machinery of their media, they will mention a name. But most of the time, no record. Who does this suit? Casualty number 1. Those suffering from psychiatric conditions and incapable of making decisions for themselves, and open to all kinds of abuses by the worst of society. The system and society washes their hands of them. Casualty number 2. Those from dysfunctional and abusive families, left by social workers to the abuse of the family or by the system. Young and unwary and cut loose, again open to the worst of abuses by the evil among us. Casualty number 3. Those who were in state care, such as orphans or juvenile detention systems. Casualty number 4. Those who fell into addiction. We as a society allow juveniles to be sold hard drugs. We allow the naive be at the mercy of the sickest of people. They rob to feed the habit. Therefore we all hurt. We leave them to rot as a warning to others, but in so doing we rot our own souls. Their families cannot do all the heavy lifting on their own. Casualty number 5. The dislocated, the innocent, the curious. If you have the capacity and the want to care for others and for standards, then you are in the sights of our warped culture. If you are without connections and resources and survival skills against the physical and legal violence, then you better watch out. Casualty number 6. Those beyond cultural acceptance. Pregnant outside of wedlock no matter what age. Sexuality outside prescription. Mode of dress considered outrageous. Not following educational expectations. Yes, I know, it is 2026. Casualty number 7. Those who have a different outlook and way of living that is not allowed to breed, but instead finds room on the extremes, and I mean the real extremes of society, the streets. The outlook doesn't have to be visible, it can be a matter of mind and words. Casualty number 8. Those suffering a physical imposition on body or mind or both, handicap or disease or injury, we excuse it by saying they fell through the cracks. It must be some wide crack. These casualties fall in battle after battle, while we continue about our daily lives, kidding ourselves we are good people, divide and conquer. But who is victorious? The armies of evil? We hammer them with weapons and armaments of loneliness and isolation, and alienation, and demanding silence and censure, and using intimidation and insult, and threats, and the law, and spiritual condemnation, and a blank stare of the media. But it gets worse. But we don't need to describe that. Where is the Calvary? We walk in the blood and the guts of so much needless suffering, but where are the Calvary? Thank you, and consider subscribing.